Hello all, I welcome you all to this session of basic thermodynamics. In the last class we were discussing about the heat transfer through finite temperature difference, okay, and we were discussing also about the decrease in available energy when there is a heat transfer by finite temperature difference, or in other words we also said it as increase in unavailable energy, okay. So we also solved a problem on decrease in available energy. In today's class we will talk about available energy from a finite energy source. So remember, when we were talking about the finite temperature difference or heat transfer through a finite temperature difference, we assumed that the source which is supplying the heat was at a constant temperature, and that was the concept with which the last derivation and problem was solved. Now what we are saying, we are trying to solve the available energy from a finite energy source. That means the energy source itself is finite. That means if you draw heat from that, the temperature of the source is also going to drop. That is the concept with which we are working. Now let us assume that there is a gas. Let us consider gas at, let us consider gas with mass, consider gas with mass m dot g or mg with temperature T, okay, and this gas is being utilized to heat working fluid which is at temperature T naught, okay. Now what is the idea? There is a gas which is at temperature T and its heat is being utilized to heat up a working fluid. Let us denote that by m suffix WIF. This is the mass of working fluid. Now we are assuming that, as we said, the temperature of the working fluid is also getting dropped because it is a finite energy source. If you draw some amount of energy, the temperature of the energy source is going to drop. So in order to make the process reversible, we are assuming that this process of losing the heat is a constant pressure, at constant pressure it is losing the energy. So as the heat is transferred from the hot gas to the working fluid, assume that the process is a constant pressure process. Now we are assuming it as a constant pressure because we want to have a reversible heat transfer process between the heat exchange. Now you can also say that heat rejected by the hot gas should be equal to heat absorbed by working fluid. That means we are trying to say that along the same path you are having a working fluid which is being heated. You can also say that along the same path the working fluid, or you can say along the same path of the hot gas being cooled, the working fluid is heated such that if you take at any moment, there is no difference in temperature between the hot gas and the working fluid, which makes that the heat transfer process a reversible one. As we discussed in the last class, if there is a temperature difference between the working fluid and the source, there is a irreversibility. So, in order to make the process reversible, what is the need? There should not be any difference between the source and temperature. If there is a finite temperature difference between the source and the working fluid, you are going to decrease, or you are going to get the irreversibilities. So, that is why we are saying along the same path, the hot gas is being cooled, the working fluid is also getting heated up, such that what we can say is that change in entropy of the universe will be what? Equal to 0. Because of this condition, change in entropy of the universe will be equal to 0. Now, this is what we know, heat rejected by the hot gas should be equal to heat absorbed by the working fluid. We know that for a constant process, heat transfer will be given by the formula mCp dt. Okay. Here, since we are talking about the hot gas, we can say that mass of gas, Cp of gas, and temperature T minus T naught. Okay. Now, similarly, heat absorbed by the working fluid will be mass of working fluid, Cp of working fluid multiplied by T minus T naught. In other words, you can say that it will be what? mgCpg will be equal to mWf Cpf. That means the working fluid of the same specific heat will be getting heated during this process. Then only you have a reversible heat transfer. Remember, you may ask that why the temperature of the source is getting dropped. We are considering, or we are working for finite energy source. That means the temperature is going to drop. Okay. Now, this is what we are going to get, mgCpg is equal to mWf Cpwf. Now, what we are interested in? Available energy. In order to get the available energy, what we want is, available energy will be Q1 minus Q2, that is heat added minus heat rejected. Now, Q1 can be calculated here itself. Either one of these will give you the Q1. Okay. Now, we can calculate Q2. We will concentrate on calculating Q2. Q2 can be what? T naught into delta S of working fluid. Now, we have not represented a complete cycle, only we are thinking about how the working fluid is getting heated and that heat is being transferred from a hot gas. Now, remember, you can ask why we have considered it as T naught and delta S of working fluid itself, because you know that these are the 2 points within which the cycle is going to operate. If at all, if you try to draw the cycle, the 1 to 2 will be what? Isentropic expansion, then the constant temperature heat rejection will be there, then once again you have a isentropic compression. Okay. Now, T naught will be what? The working fluid will be here. You forget about the the way by which the heat is transferred to the working fluid. Working fluid is the one which is going under the cycle. That means working fluid will be the one which operates within the cycle. So, working T naught is the temperature of heat rejection, and delta S of working fluid is what we are interested in, not the delta S of hot gas. Now, T naught into delta S of working fluid, we will get the Q2. Now, it is better that we get delta S of gas and delta S of working fluid, we can go back to the substitution and then we can finally find out the available energy. Now delta S is what? Delta S is mCp dt, or you can say that delta S is what? Delta Q by T, or heat transfer by T. The temperature of this will be what? T to T naught, integration limits. Now delta Q for a constant pressure process, mCp dt by T, limits will be same. We are writing for change in entropy of gas. Now mass is constant. This is of course for gas we are writing mg cpg. So constant. Now T to T naught dt by T, what we are going to get is mCp ln of T naught by T. If you substitute the limits, you are going to get ln of T naught minus T, ultimately ln of A by B, A minus ln B, you are going to get ln of A by B. Similarly, you can calculate for the working fluid as well. For working fluid, what we have is that, T naught to T, delta Q by T. Now similarly, you expand mass of working fluid, Cp of working fluid, final expression I will write ln of T by T naught. Now simply you can see that delta S of gas will be what? Negative, change in entropy of the gas, because delta Q, it is losing the heat. So delta S of the gas will be negative. This we know that this is going, you are going to get the answer negative. This we are going to get the answer positive. Now come back. Now you can, just this summation of this will be equal to 0 because of the same principle, delta S of universe will be 0. Now however, we are interested in available energy. So Q1, you substitute mg cpg T minus T naught. This is Q1. Now Q2 is what? Minus Q2 is T naught. T naught delta S of working fluid, which is m of working fluid Cp ln of T by T naught. Or you can simplify this, because mw cpw is equal to mg cpg. So if you substitute that, you can take the common of this. What we are going to get is available energy will be equal to, take mg cpg common, you have T minus T naught minus T naught into ln of T by T naught. Now this is the expression for available energy from a finite energy source. Remember, whenever you have a finite energy source, we have to assume that it is going to lose its temperature. Source is going to lose its temperature over by a constant pressure process, and the same will be given to the working fluid. And then once you deduce the equation, this is what we are going to get. Available energy will be equal to mg cpg, that is the mass of gas, Cp of gas, into T minus T naught, where T is the temperature of the gas initially and T naught is the temperature of the surroundings or temperature of the dead state, minus T naught into ln of T by T naught. We will solve a problem on the available energy from a finite energy source. Okay. Now let us read the problem once. In a steam boiler, hot gases from a fight transfer heat the water which vaporizes at constant temperature. So there is hot gases from a boiler which transfer the heat to water which vaporizes at constant temperature. So the working fluid is evaporating or vaporizing at constant temperature. However, there is a gas which is transferring the heat to this water. So what we are trying to say is that it is a finite source. Okay. Now, in a certain case, the gases are cooled from 1100 degrees Celsius to 550 degree Celsius. So, we can try to plot the graph. Let us say you have a TS diagram where the gas is cooled from 1100 to 1100 degree Celsius to 550 degree Celsius. So, this we will have to assume that a constant pressure process. Okay. Now, this is what mass of gas is being cooled this way. Now, while the water evaporates at 220 degree Celsius. Now, it is heating the water which is at what temperature 220 degree Celsius. Now, this is the process of vaporization which we are trying to show. Now, this as this gets cooled along the constant pressure, this is transferring the heat to a water which is evaporating at 220 degree Celsius. Let us assume that this is a constant temperature process. Of course, he has given that vaporizing at constant temperature. Now, this is a temperature line, constant temperature line which is at 220 degree Celsius. Now, he has given the specific heat of hot gas. Cp of gas is given 1.005 kilojoule per kg Kelvin, and the latent heat of water. The latent heat of water at 220 degree Celsius he has given. Latent heat of water means the amount of heat required to vaporize 1 kg of water. You know, that amount of heat he is saying that it is a latent heat. The amount of heat required to vaporize 1 kg of water at the at the given pressure, and this is the saturation temperature. At 220 degree Celsius, he is saying that latent heat is 1858.5 kilojoule of energy is needed for each kg of water to be transferring from liquid state to vapor state. All the heat transferred from the gas goes to the water. So, this we need to assume the Q1, if the amount of Q1 we are worrying, the amount of heat which this is losing must be equal to the amount of heat which is gained by water. Okay. That we can write heat transferred from hot gas must be equal to heat absorbed by water, or you can say simply working fluid, heat absorbed by water. Now, how much does the total entropy of combined system of gas and water increases? So, he is interested in calculating delta S of combined. That means we are interested in delta S of gas plus delta S of water. So, that is what is the combined one. As a result of irreversible heat transfer, we will see obtain the result on the basis of 1 kg of water evaporated. That means you need to assume that mass is 1 kg, that is mass of water is saying it is for 1 kg. So, for each kg is saying this must be 1 kg. Now, if the temperature of the surrounding is 30 degree Celsius, that means he has given you T naught 30 degree Celsius. Find the increase in unavailable energy due to irreversible heat transfer. Find the increase in unavailable energy. Increase in unavailable energy. Now, as we discussed in the last derivation, if there is a temperature difference between the source and the working fluid, that causes the irreversibility. That means if you want to follow an ideal cycle, as we discussed, the working fluid has to get heated up along the same path of constant pressure where the hot gas is being cooled. Now, if that is the case, now the ideal cycle will be something like this, that is 1, 2, 3 and 4. Okay. Now this represents what? This is the working fluid which is getting heated up, 4 to 1. Then 1 to 2 is isentropic expansion in a turbine. Then this is the heat rejection, or the area under 2 to 3 will give you the unavailable energy. Then 3 to 4 is a compression process, or pressure rising process, isentropic compression process. Now if instead of this, what is happening in reality? The water is being heated at 220 degrees Celsius. As we know, delta S is this much. Now for the same Q1, if you are having at 220 degrees centigrade, the delta S has to be increased. Okay, delta S has to be increased. Now this will be your new cycle. Let us call this as, let us say this is A, B, C, D. This will be what? E and F. Now what happened? This was the area of unavailable energy. Area under 2 to 3 represent unavailable energy for ideal cycle. Now area under, let us call this as G. Now area under 3G represents unavailable energy for irreversibility or irreversible heat transfer. Now because of the irreversible heat transfer you carried out, this is the increase in what? The unavailable energy. That means the area of 2GFC is the area which we are interested in. Let us call this as what? Let us call this as delta S of what? This is gas. Now this total gives you delta S of water. Now what we are interested in is this much. Okay, let us say this is what we are interested in. Let us see. Now heat transferred from the hot gas should be equal to heat absorbed by water. By the same principle, what we can write is mg Cp of G. Heat transfer from hot gas will be what? T1 minus T4, or you can simply say that Tg1 minus Tg2. That is the initial temperature of the hot gas minus final temperature of the hot gas. Now heat absorbed by water, that can be simply what? Delta Q, or you can say that latent heat of water at 220 degrees centigrade into mass. Of course, since mass he has given you 1, you can solve this. Latent heat of water he has given you 1858.5 kilojoule per kg. Now you also know this one, m dot g cp dot cpg, which we do not know. Tg is temperature difference, you need not to worry about conversion, you will get the same. 550 must be equal to 1 into 1858.5. So what we get is the value of mg into cpg, that will be 3.38 kilojoule per, this mass is in kg, Cp is in kilojoule per kg Kelvin or kg degree Celsius. So this will be kg degree Celsius. What we have got is mg Cpg value. Ultimately what we are interested in, delta S of gas, delta S of water, then increase in unavailable energy. Now let us go to delta S of water. Delta S can be written as what? Delta Q by T. That is Q1 by T, which we have assumed. Delta Q by T is for water. So latent heat is what we are interested in, the amount of heat absorbed for water divided by T. So this will be a temperature limit, you know that. So Q1 by temperature T, where delta Q is latent heat which we know 1858.5 divided by temperature of this is 220 plus 273. We are getting delta S of water as 3.77 kilojoule per kg Kelvin. Now similarly, what we are interested in, delta S of gas. Okay, delta S of gas can be written as once again delta Q by T. Now it is happening between what? Temperature 1100 to 550. We will see delta Q, it is happening at a constant pressure mCp dt by T. So mass of gas, Cp of gas into dt by T. So mass of gas and to Cp of gas we have already found out 3.38. Now integration of dt by T, we will get ln of this is integrated between Tg1 to Tg2, Tg2 minus, or you get finally this one. Now if you substitute this 3.38 ln of Tg2 is 550 plus 273 divided by initial that is 1100 plus 273. Now you get delta S of gas which is minus 1.725 kilojoule per Kelvin. Now this is delta S of gas. Now what we are interested in is delta S combined. Okay, change in entropy of the combined system will be delta S of water plus delta S of gas. Now this will be what? 3.77 minus 1.725 which will be equal to 2.045 kilojoule per Kelvin. So this is the change in entropy of the combined system. And also what we are interested now is that this 4123 is a ideal cycle. The area under 3 to 2 gave you the unavailable energy of the initial cycle, whereas area under 3G gave you the unavailable energy for a new cycle. Now the increase in unavailable energy will be what? 2GEF. Now this is 2GCF. Okay, this is the amount of increase in unavailable energy because of the irreversible heat transfer. Now what we need to calculate is this one. Now this can be written as what? The increase in unavailable energy will be equal to T naught into delta S combined. That means what we are interested in, T into delta S of this. Okay, that is T naught, T here is T naught into delta S of this much will give you the increase in unavailable energy. So that means we are interested in this area. Now this area is what? Delta S of water minus delta S of hot gas will give you the delta S of this. Okay. Now that is nothing but delta S of combined itself. You see, delta S of water is 3.77 minus delta S of gas is this much. If you subtract this from this, you get change in entropy which is nothing but 2.05. Now T naught is what? 30 plus 273, keep it in Kelvin, multiplied by delta S combined is 2.045. The answer what you are going to get is 620 kilojoules. Now increase in unavailable energy because of the irreversible heat transfer is 620 kilojoules.